So going in, there's the scope of the issue that we're trying to overcome, or that we had a challenge on, was that we always wanted to perform a portfolio line increase, but we couldn't because we didn't think that we have all the data, or half the data, or know about the members' current income. My presentation is to show you the contradictions that we do have the data that we need to perform the portfolio line increase. I'm also going to look at, or basically I'm going to look at the primary members with active credit cards, understand the net spendable income, as well as their spendable behavior and trend. Our last line increase was in 2008. In 2009, we know the CARD Act was introduced, and that became a challenge. Of course, the CARD Act required that we perform a proper assessment on our members' current income before we do the line increase. In a nutshell, it requires that we know about the current income and know that the members can repay before we do it. What's different now is that, well, at the time we didn't have the data, so that was the challenge. Now we have enough current income data of our own to know if the members can repay prior to increase in the credit limit. As we're using the data collected from our members, we can reduce the needs of model income data. And on a continuing separate analysis, we knew separate analysis showed us that those members that we increased line limit had 40% more spending. So let me stop real quick in terms of how we captured the data. What I looked at, we have our core system, which is DNA, and we have our loan origination systems, LendingQB, and Accelerant as well. So in our core system, what I looked at is I look at the reoccurring recent consistent ACH deposit activity from October to current, only primary credit card holders. If I have a need to go to the other platforms, I would look at the most recent apps to make sure I'm looking at the recent incomes, which is the last 12 months. This is just to show the average income that I collected. Now, to be considered income, what is income? The primary credit card holder has to have consistent reoccurring deposits greater than $300 a month. Now, for it to be considered income, it has to be classified as one of those: payroll, direct deposit, salary, Social Security deposit, and pension. And the code underneath is just to show how each type was captured, based on the activity description. Now we know we have about 400,000+ active members. We have about 118,000 active primary credit card holders. From this method, I was able to collect 44,000+ with income. So we do have the data. So of the 44,000, 33 of the 44,000s, what we know is that they contribute 45% of the monthly credit card spending. This is according to FIS, PI system. And now what happened to the remaining 11,000? Those 11,000, based on FIS data, had 0 transactions. The pyramid shows that 23,000+ members had 1 to 49 transactions, 4,000+ had 50 to 99 transactions, and the rest on the pyramid. Also know, looking at Q4, the spending, based on the spending behavior, we know that the average spending is about $1,372 each month. Now, the separate analysis that I just mentioned to you that gave us some indication that if on those that we increased the credit limit had 40% plus in spending. So what does that mean? That means that, 40% of 1372 is 1921. The difference between the two is 549. If I apply, so each month we're looking at 549 more in spending each month per member. If I apply that to the 118 active credit card holders that we have, we can potentially have 777 million extra in potential non-interest income increase. If I apply that to the 44,000 members that I'm able to collect income on, we're looking at close to 300 million each year. Now, the big question is, would we give it? Would we give it to the member? When I look at their latest quarterly score that we collect from Experian, the majority of them are A-plus members, close to 70%. So, and on average, their score is about 750. So where do we go from here? We can warehouse the data, our members' income data, more efficiently. By doing so, we can have a more speedy decision. We can confirm the data more quickly. And we can introduce it to the underwriting process. There's so many more that we can do with it. In my closing, this is just to show you how the data was captured, so as the next couple of slides. This is Alteryx. You have Alteryx team over there. Just to give you an idea how the data was collected. Very top left is the data from our enterprise data warehouse, blended, locate the score, and I merge it with FIS data. The output, Tableau connects to it, and then produce the results that I just shared with you.
Thank you, Supal. That's great.
Any questions? No?
All right. Any questions? Okay, so I think if you have questions, catch hold of Supal in another 30 minutes.
Thank you.
Supal. Give me the clicker. So call upon next participant, Peter Lee from Baxter Credit Union. Round of applause for Peter.
Hi. My problem is going to be a little bit different from the other two. I'm going to be talking about overcoming mistrust of the data. How do I? Oops. Okay, so when I joined BCU about 3.5 years ago, one of the problems I had to fix was overcoming a dual reporting environment. Those two systems in place, ProClarity and Tableau. Now, ProClarity was the incumbent system that was used for reporting against the data warehouse. Tableau was brought in to replace ProClarity because ProClarity was purchased by Microsoft, and eventually the product was discontinued. So we were on, one, a unsupported product, and then two, Tableau, which obviously is a supported product. They're right over there. But the end users were holding on to ProClarity for dear life. They would not let go of it. There is a really nice feature within ProClarity that allows you to drill down into the hierarchies. And this is really great for those who like to do a lot of ad hoc inquiries, drill downs, right? So for example, if I wanted to look at loans from our Crystal Lake branch for the month of February, I could do a drill down by branch. Great. I could then further drill down into, let's say, auto loans. Great. And then I want to see further, what's the credit score breakdown for those auto loans for the branch of Crystal Lake for the month of February? And I could keep drilling down over and over and over. It's like a funnel, right? I'm going down, and I could go back up, and I could drill down further into a different hierarchy. That is great. Tableau, unfortunately, couldn't do it. So I knew I had to, and I'll cover why. I'll get to that in a little bit. So I know, Tableau, you guys might want to cover your ears. I don't know if you want to hear this. So I knew I had to get onto a single platform, a supported platform. And I needed to overcome the cultural issue of that drill down feature, which the end users would not let go of. So as I started talking to the end users, anywhere from the senior management team to directors, managers, even the power users, whom I call the analysts, I realized, yeah, half of them like ProClarity, some of them like Tableau. There was a big section in between where they were confused about which platform to use. Often, there were reports on both platforms showing different sets of numbers, right? We've all been there. They come to me, Peter, the data warehouse is broken. The data's broken. Something's wrong with ProClarity. Something's wrong with Tableau. What's going on? So I started looking at a whole bunch of different vendors, anywhere from MicroStrategy, I looked at Qlik. I knew about Oracle Business Intelligence because I've used it in the past. Oh gosh, SAP HANA. I did not look at TIBCO, but the list goes on. And one of the products I was looking at was Power BI. And I realized Power BI won't work because Power BI is up in the cloud. Our data warehouse was on premise. I could not make that connection. So I was playing around with Excel, and I realized, you know what? I could hit our analysis services cubes directly using Excel. And I started playing around with it more, and I realized, you know what? There's a nice drill down feature in Excel that I could use. So I could drill down just like ProClarity. I could drill back up. I could drill sideways. This might work. So I started selling this to the senior management team, all levels of the organization. Look, guys, I think I'm onto something here with Excel. So I got okay for a pilot project. And I did some demos, and I kept hearing the same thing. Peter, you're going to have to sell this to our COO. He is our most vocal critic of data and reporting. So I threw everything I had into creating about 6 or 7 demos for him. He loved it. I'm like, all right, this is great. And then a week later, he announced his resignation to become CEO of Anheuser-Busch Credit Union. Yeah, but I got his okay, and that was enough for me. Yeah, so now, okay, I have to proceed. Now, how do I do this, right? So I took an inventory of all the reports in ProClarity and Tableau, 2,000 reports plus. Now, I'm not going to convert all these. That's just, come on, 2,000 reports. So I worked with the senior management team. I said, look, can you please work with your staff and mark the reports that are critical to run your business? Okay, not the nice to have. I'm not going to convert those. I don't have the time. They said, great. Came to about 500 reports, much better than 2,000. So now, let's convert them, right? There's no easy button. Nobody's going to do this for us. We have to do this ourselves manually. Okay. Challenges. Yeah. Sorry. One of the challenges I faced was I spoke with the product management team at Tableau twice. I demoed to them the drill down feature in ProClarity. Can you guys get this in your product? So we're already paying for your product. I don't want to let go of it. Yeah, it didn't go very far. So I'm like, all right. So I had to take matters into my own hands, and we decided to proceed with Excel. So each one had to be manually recreated, like I mentioned. How am I going to do this? I had to find contractors. Now, we are located about 40 miles north of Chicago. I spoke with some contractors, and I often got where are you guys located? I'm like, and then I could hear them clicking, oh. And they realized, a lot of these guys were in the city or farther south. It's just too long of a drive. So I'm like, great, how am I going to do this? I can't do this myself, right? So I found interns. Now, how did I find the interns? One of the VPs at our organization knew a professor at Loyola University, which is on the north side of Chicago. They have a BI program. I reached out to that professor. Within minutes, I started getting resumes. And I interviewed each one, and I got 4 on board in about a month and a half. Let me tell you, these kids are hungry. They want hands-on experience. And they're not just hungry for experience, but they're hungry for food. So I fed them a lot of food. They got through the conversion in about a third of the time that I expected. And it was great. Not just conversion, but they've also did a lot of QAing of the reports for each other. I took the final pass at the reports. It was great. We rolled it out, and then training. I had to do a lot of training for the end users. They loved it. One reason why they loved it, think of all the reporting you do in whatever system it is, right? Whether it's Oracle, SAP, Business Objects. How many of you have done your reporting, exported the numbers into Excel, do additional reporting, right? It's one-stop shopping now. And all I really did was I just changed the front end, the presentation layer. That alone brought back a lot of trust into the data. And not just that, when I rolled it out, a lot of the end users would call me directly. Hey, Peter, how do I do this? Or how do I do that? This was time for me to kind of spend one-on-one time with them. And if they had any requests for changes, I would just do it on the fly, or I would just give it to an intern and have them do it right on the fly. They loved it. I started getting so many compliments, and those compliments made its way up to our CIO. It was great, very well received. So, one, there's two things I want you to take away from this. One is, you know what? All I did was change the presentation layer. I didn't change any of the computing. The data in the warehouse stayed as is. I just changed the presentation layer. Two, trust was restored because I changed the presentation layer for a piece of software that you're all familiar with. Who in this room has not used Excel? Ever. Exactly. I didn't have to push yet another piece of software onto the end users. And you know what? The rest is history. Any questions?
Thank you, Peter.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Unfortunately, we have to be unfair on this because I think we are giving just 5 minutes. I know a lot of work has been put into by each of these presentations, but because of time constraints, we'll have to make it quick and 5-minute presentation. So next, I'm going to call upon Rebecca Henderson from First Tech. Round of applause.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca. I work for First Tech. I'm the analyst within our investment services division. So the business problem that I came up with was one that somebody from our management team had come to me with late last year saying, how can we track the time it takes us to respond to any of our referrals? It's a pretty basic question, something that's pretty important, and we had no way to report it that wasn't manual. Everything was, you would have to look into Salesforce, which is our CRM, and look one by one at each of the leads, just to see, kind of the progress and anything that was happening in there. So this was the question that came to me, and it was really important because we have our service level agreement. For us, it's 48 hours, but we had no way of tracking that. And it's a pretty important factor. Even one study from the Harvard Business Review said that, especially for web leads, leads that are responded to within the first hour are actually 60 times more likely to be qualified than those that you wait 24 hours to. So that time factor is a really, really big deal. So the planning and implementation I did for this was after working with our digital analytics team a lot with the rollout of the enterprise data warehouse, I got this idea of, within the data warehouse, we're starting to put the Salesforce data in there, and this is the only place that we have that we can actually see historical data as opposed to just that point in time. So with that, my idea was to compare day over day, because the data they collect is every day is a snapshot of the change in status. So I use that to kind of differentiate within a 24-hour period how the leads were changing. So for us, the process is, once you pick up a lead and attempt to contact them, you change the lead status from open to anything else, whether it's left a message, whether it's contacted, whether it's you already converted them, anything else. So to use that, I decided to use the enterprise data warehouse. And then with that, I used SQL Server to pull the data. And so again, with the help from the digital analytics team, they helped me get set up with that because I was not a normal SQL user before that. And then from there, I put it into Tableau. So I use a lot of Tableau. That was probably the easiest part for me, was just plugging in and actually starting to play with the data and getting the answers that I needed. So the challenges I faced particularly were finding everything I needed within the enterprise data warehouse, because before I was pulling all my reports directly from Salesforce. So the formatting is completely different and finding everything I need. Eventually I was able to get it all by joining about 5 different views. But it was all there, just kind of working and discovering everything that I needed, especially for our business unit, as opposed to leads across the enterprise. The other challenge, like I said, was using SQL servers. I was pretty new to it, but with the help from the digital analytics team, that was pretty smooth. So the solution I came up with was this dashboard, as you can see, within Tableau. Once we were able to pull all the data, we were able to get some pretty good insights from it, and seeing kind of where we're falling currently as far as our response rate to leads. So this is pretty new data. We just rolled this out. I haven't even fully rolled it out to all of our management team, but so far we already know that almost 50% is already within the SLA. Less than 15% go over 7 days. But a really important part that we found out was, like, you see this red bar in the bottom corner that's really scary, is the number of leads that hadn't been contacted yet, and it was already been 30 days. So going into there, we could see that, and we can actually pull up the data and see the reason these haven't been contacted is because of training issues, processing issues, so we weren't receiving them, or our employees were going in and actually contacting them, but they weren't changing the status. So simple things like that that can be easily fixed, and gives us a lot more visibility into how our business is working and making sure we're not missing any referrals or opportunities. So future uses for this is we're actually going to take this and try and find our qualification rate for each kind of stage, and then from there we can define what is the best service level agreement, whether it is 48 hours, whether it should be a shorter amount of time that we need to contact these to get the highest qualification rate. And then also, as I said, to make sure that we are, make sure we're not letting any fall through the cracks. So that's it. Any questions?
That's perfectly on time, Rebecca.
Yeah, 10 seconds to go.
Good. Any quick questions for Rebecca?
No? Cool.
All right, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. So just want to add a note, the 3 participants from First Tech, they're the 3 winners from a submission of about 12 entries that we had last month, which was an internal analytics summit. And we have the 3 top winners presenting here. So I'll call upon next person, Andrew Bertrand from OCCU. Please put your hands together for Andrew.
All right, so I'll be up here twice, I guess. I didn't know that was the kind of entry it was, but hey, it's good. So what we had for this one is a with the current rate structure and the way things are going with competition, our loan yield was going down. This is just a graph that shows average monthly loan yield for originations year over year. And so we looked at possible interest rate increases. With the possible rate increases in the future, we wanted to minimize our interest rate risk. We were noticing a lot of 84-month loans coming in at our lowest rate, which is 2.99. Which also, the current model showed that we needed to increase our current income and loan yields, right? So first stage was determine market position. I actually had a friendly dealer who shared a lot of indirect rate sheets with me. So we got some good information on that. I looked at who our biggest competitors were mining the ACH data. And this was prior to we implemented a data warehouse last year with OnApproach, but prior to that, everything with the ACH data was scripted, parsing against the text file. So then actually went and got the information from the dealers about the competitors, and also looked at loan application data. So looking at the analysis on this, so this was our trends in loan applications were going down. However, if you notice on the bottom, our 2.99% loans were getting a lot more applications at that rate. The line here in the middle is when we changed to the 299 rate, to the 84-month, actually. Looking at that again, so we identified that the approval ratio was going up, was higher, so we're not only were we getting more or less 299 loans coming in applications, but we were approving them more often. And the theory was that our loan underwriters were spending more time on the 299 loans and not taking enough time for the other loans at the higher rates, higher yields. So then, yeah, sorry, I'm nervous. So then we looked at the average applications that are coming in, just some of the visualizations here, the percentage of 299% loans by count. We had 70% of the applications were approved after we changed the rates. And then looking at what we had in the gray bars in the background there shows it's a distribution of what the credit score was on the loans coming in. So we were looking at that, and our approval ratio, as you see right there, was really low. We were down to 3% on some credit scores, but we were getting the most amount of loans coming, the applications coming in. So a couple of different things were suggested. We looked at changing the rate and tier structure, changing the underwriting process, and then looking at what the competitors had and what their rate and tier was. Oh, good, I have one down here. So if you notice my little hand-drawn mark there, that's found out that we actually had the sweet spot with our competitors that for the 730 to 755 credit range, we had the best rate in the market. And that's where primarily all the loans are coming in at. So the challenges that we faced, mainly buy-in from the key stakeholders like the VP of Lending, and also communicating to the loan department that the loans that they were approving maybe were too easy, but trying to communicate that to them without, impacting morale. So resistance to change is a big one also. And then trying to present the idea, because, trying to present it to them in a way that they can understand and see and kind of get an aha on. So presented it to it was a Tableau server storyboard type presentation that I did at a board meeting and also at a management meeting prior to that. So with that recommendation, we changed our rate and tier structure and changed the cutoffs and actually lowered the rates in the higher tiers to increase loan income. And this is the net result. So we've had a 23 basis point increase in our in indirect loan originations, and the big surprise was the direct loans. That had a 126 basis point increase right there. So, and it was also hard, I don't know if you mentioned, but yeah, trying to explain that we wanted to increase loan income, we wanted to decrease the rates, so that was kind of hard to get people to wrap their minds around. So, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. So I'll call upon the next presenter, Ryan Drew from First Tech. Please put your hands together for Ryan.
Hello, everybody. It's my pleasure to present this Analytics Challenge entry today. I work as a data analyst for the contact center. I've been there since July 2015. And one of my first projects was actually working with Net Promoter Score. So I'm sure everybody's familiar with that. So I'm going to show you a challenge that we had and sort of how we dealt with it. Okay, so here's our problem statement. The contact center was having some real challenges with Net Promoter Score. We were fairly low. There was a lot of changes that were occurring, member impacting changes. However, we still had some opportunities to improve the member experience. And so one of the things that we were lucky to have was support from our member experience group. And so what they did, they decided, well, let's do a 90-day project. And so this is a really great platform for doing data analytics because when you have a project and you have people really engaged in it, they're going to be very interested in the data. You're going to have them engaged in using the data, and you're going to get a lot of feedback, great feedback, and you're going to get a lot of usage. So that's what I found during this project. So it was just a simple 90-day project, and we'll go over a few things that we're going to focus on. But our member experience team did some analysis on some recorded calls, and what they determined was that there were some distinct soft skills that agents would possess that would really drive the NPS scores up. And so they thought that, well, that'd be great for us to focus on, so let's use that as a foundation for our project. And so here is just basically a graphic kind of showing you some of the, let's say, skills that we're focused on. Now, at the top, these are all derived from SAT metrics. Okay, so you have feel like a valued member, prompt service, inquiry, problem resolve, personally engaged. Now, we knew that these questions, these survey questions, if members responded positively to these 4 survey questions, that really did drive NPS. And so that gave us kind of a really good roadmap for us to follow. Down below, what you have are soft skills. This was determined by member experience that, well, agents that possess these soft skills also impacted the NPS scores. And so we pretty much had a pretty good list of things to focus on. So what we decided to do was let's make a process. So this process basically is let's make a tool that can be used by our inbound management team or our call agent managers to assess their agents' skill level for these soft skills and these NPS skills and see where they are and be able to do some coaching to improve the agent's performance. And so what we devised was a process where we would make a dashboard that would show the manager and their team what the results are, and then what the managers had to do was every other week they would have a meeting to go over their results. And so what we did was we created a tool for them to support their coaching. Some of the challenges that we faced, I won't go through all of them, but one of the big challenges that we had was basically getting people committed to using the dashboard. Because you can make the best dashboard, the best data visualization possible, but if nobody goes there and uses it, it's just worthless. You just wasted your time. One of the things that really helped us along was having the support of upper management. Another challenge was there's a few on the technical side, on the analytics environment, was there were some things we couldn't do, like tracking a number of times a call is placed on hold. This was actually part of some other operational metrics that we're also tracking, along with these soft skills and NPS skills that we knew still had a bearing on producing a positive member experience. So those are some other operational opportunities that we put on our dashboard too. So I'll keep going. So this is a look at our dashboard. So this is what the, say, an inbound manager would see. So we have it listed by managers, and each manager has about 13 agents on their team, and they can see where they are relative to goal in terms of the soft skills in the middle, and at the very top, you also see what the SAT metrics questions about feel like a valued member, prompt service, and so on. So they can see where they are week to week, week over week, where they are in terms of where we would like to see them relative to goal. Down at the bottom, what you see are the operational metrics. So these are like speed, time to answer, abandon rate, and so forth, basically your typical call KPIs. What I built into this dashboard was the capability of doing drill downs, because managers, if you want them to use it as a tool, then you got to make it easy for them. So what I did was I made a drill down. So here's the drill down. And thank you for Tableau for making this an easy process to do. So what a manager can do is they can look at their numbers, they can drill down and look at their team, And if they wanted to, they could look at the agent's performance and they can see what the auditor found in terms of how they judged the call in the soft skill areas down there. So that gave them, something for them to coach to. This is where we were. We started this project kind of like in the low 40s, and so we ended up getting closer to the 50s in terms of NPS. We still have a long way to go and a short time to get there, but we'll get it. And then some of the driver questions or the NPS skill questions, you can see we still have some opportunity there, but they're kind of on the uptick. And so success and learnings, we improved our NPS by 18 points. We had over 500 coaching sessions. Our NPS for driver questions, as we saw before, are kind of on an upward tick. So we've made some pretty good progress. Success and learning. So I would recommend that if you're going to do a project like this, demand a dashboard prototype. Don't feel like you know how that dashboard's going to look. Get some inputs from the people who are going to use it. Try to put some features in the dashboard that are going to be useful for people using it. So again, kind of be more customer-centric when you're making your dashboard. And one of the biggest things is upper management really did help enforce the use of this dashboard. And now this is pretty much a regular process. So it became a project, and now it's a regular mainstay process. So it's continuing even now. So that's it. That's my project. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Ryan.
So we were originally Simpson Community Credit Union before we changed the name to Our Community. And Simpson was actually one of our largest SEGs, obviously, right? They were going out of business. So 500 plus employees would be affected in our hometown. Also, there was a panel manufacturing place, wood products, that was also going out of business. So we needed to quickly and accurately assess our risk and adjust our environmental risk reserves. And also we needed to figure out who those members were so we could reach out to them, so we could hold community meetings. We actually did some financial literacy classes and stuff like that with them also, talked to them about repaying, talking about their loans and repayments and stuff like that. So the first stage, we identified the members that were employees using ACH data, and identified all the loans that were in there, and then using that list, looked at the probability of default, probability of delinquency, and the loss given default on those to adjust our reserve model. And finally, the third stage, we created a transition team. So that way we could keep the message consistent to all the members. So everybody on this transition team, ran the gamut of C-suite down to the front line, so that they read all the same message. Added a pop-up to the CRM system, so when that member came in, the employee knew that was an affected member, so they could ask them questions and kind of find out more details. Also, that helped out later on when we wanted to find out who was underemployed, because they received one company, they received a big payout, the employees did, and so they paid off some of the loans. Other ones, they went off to, got new jobs elsewhere, and so looked at their payroll data to figure out if they were, let's say they were making $5,000 a month before, and now they're only making $2,000. So then we'd use that to adjust the probability of default and stuff. Let's see. Oh yeah, also ran, went through credit data, find out what their utilization was on their available credit outside, if they were opening up new loans or other things outside, which would increase our risk, and looked into all that information. So continually tracked it. That was probably the hardest issue, the challenge that we faced was getting the accurate data from the front line so they could input it in, so we could look at what the notes were on the CRM system. So we parsed through that so we could get that. See who was the age of the members. There was actually a large percentage that were 55 and over. So how many of those were going to be retiring or moving on. Also, credit protection is actually something I didn't think about until later. It's like, oh wait, a lot of these guys have purchased credit protection, and so we don't have to worry about that as much. let's see, and also the reputation risk. So we want to make sure that we're, having the same message to the community. Our CEO did several different community events, and then we partnered with another credit union in town also to talk to these affected members. And tracking social media and additional, media coverage to see what they were saying, if anything was about us or other things going on in town. A lot of people, when it was first announced, the town, the hometown that we're based in is 18,000 is the population, and so with 500 people going out of work, that was a pretty big impact just in town. So with that, the solution presented basically, here's some of the reports. Presented this to ALCO, the DFI, and NCUA examiners when they came in. They wanted to see what we were doing for this, for what was going on. Tracked all the accounts in the CRM system. So this is just basically, it was a couple-page PDF that was presented using Tableau. And so we looked at the loss given default by type of loans. Just looked at some different loss given default by risk and tier and credit score, just to kind of get some more information. For that, looked at the breakdown by age and balance of the loans, where they lived, and looked at members who had the highest unsecured aggregate balances to really reach out to and pay attention to the most. And because of that, so to this date, no losses have incurred. Is it incurred or occurred? Anyway, data. So we got the right data at the right time. The examiners are happy with the model, which basically I'm the analyst at the credit union, and my entire job is to appease the examiners, basically. So, and then we actually increased our reputation in the community because of proactive what we did with the community events and also reaching out to the affected employees. So.
Thank you, Andrew. So I think a couple announcements, and before that, I would like to, let's see here. We'll give 5 minutes for the judges to tabulate the scores, and then we'll announce the top 3. And in the meanwhile, wanted to remind you about the sponsor forms, if you guys have dropped it, for the raffle. And then few other things that's lined up after this, more entertainment. And I think not to put in between the happy hour there that's being set up. Congratulations to all the entries. Let's see here. So, if you remember, we had Chris Sardak in the morning, in the afternoon when he was presenting, that he has a book signing event here happening. So, right after another 15 minutes, we'll have Chris set up here for his book signing, and then we have a entertainer who's called Nash Fung. So he's right here on the stage. So yes, you're fast. So Nash, I've seen his videos, and it's really interesting. He's one of the featured magician on the CW networks, especially in the Pacific Northwest and Seattle area. And he kind of combines magic, psychology, and his life story into one of a unique entertainment. So his magic has been featured on the CW networks. And then also on Penn and Teller, it's Fool Us on TV in UK and Japan as well. So with that, I would like to welcome Nash Fung.
Love the introduction, mate. All right. So yes, my name is Nash, and I do magic. Let's get it started right now, yeah? Can I get everybody to follow me? Just lift your right foot off the ground like this, and with the right foot, draw a circle over and over again just like that, because in a moment, I'm going to hypnotize you and make your feet go the other way. Now, here's how we do it. Everybody, put your right finger straight forward like this, all right? And then with the right finger, write the number 6 in the air over and over again and see what happens to all your feet, all right? So you can try it with friends and family. You'll mess them up. Now, I'm going to need a volunteer right now, a gentleman that has his wallet with him and cash. Does anybody here have over here? Let's go. Okay, hang on a second. You raise your hand right there. Hello, my friend. What is your name? Hello. Hi. What's your name? Chris. Everyone say hi, Chris. Okay, Chris, let me see your wallet right here. That was easy. All right, good. Now, Chris, you got some cash over here, right? You got like $1 bill or no? No, just a 20. Okay, tell you what, does anybody here have a wallet with a $1 bill? Anybody here? You got one over here. Brilliant. Good. Now, what's your name, sir? Bill, thank you so much over here. Make sure you actually got, wow, you got a lot of ones over here, yeah? Let's give Bill a big hand over here. Come join us over here. Come. Go. Here. Now, Bill, take your wallet with you. I want you to go ahead and take out your $1 bill, and we are do some magic with your $1 bill in just a moment, okay? But first thing first, though, you know what, though? Bill, you might not have ever volunteered for Magician before, yeah? So you might feel a little stage fright right now. We're going to make you feel welcome right now, all right? Everybody, can I have you take out your cell phones right now? This is for Bill, all right? Good. Bill, I want you to get used to getting all these eyeballs on you right now, okay? So we're going to do a rock star photo for everybody over here. So on a count of 3, all I want you to do is just take a picture of me and Bill, and we're going to act like a rock star right here. Guys, 1, for you guys over here first. 1, 2, and 3. Look that way. You guys good? How you feel so far, man? You feeling good? So far, so good. All right, let's go over here for these guys over here, guys. 1, and 2, and 3. Get a picture of me and Bill. All right, brilliant, good. Put the phone down right now. Now, Bill, I do want to thank you for coming on stage over here so quickly. And you got a $1 bill over here, right? Yeah. Good. Watch what I'll do for y'all. $1 bill. I'll take the $1 bill, fold it in half, and in half again, and in half once more, and I might turn it into maybe just, I don't know, maybe a little more over here. Maybe now it is a $10 bill instead right there. And as a matter of fact, Bill, since you helped me out, you volunteer right here. Thank you. This is a souvenir for you. Yeah. Now you want to volunteer, right? Okay. Now I tell you what, though. You are going to show us a trick in just a moment. So sit right here for a second. I'll show you what I'll show these guys in just a moment. Now, Bill, have you ever done magic before? Have you? No? Good. Check it out right here. Guys, can you see the bag right here? Yeah? This is going to be a bad angle for y'all, but can you see me turn the bag upside down like that? To prove there's nothing inside, right? But watch carefully, because that was only a lie, because in there's got to be a pitcher of water, right? Oh, my goodness. And it really is a pitcher of water that pours out over here just like that. Now, Bill, you are going to show us how that trick is done, okay? And of course, we're going to do it baby step first. So let me go ahead and take out something not as big as a pitcher of water, just a bottle of water, yeah? Hang on to the water bottle over here. Stand up right now. Good. Bill, I want you to open the water bottle, and then I want you to hold it up high, aim at the pitcher, and pour some water into the pitcher without spilling. Go for it, Bill. Go for it. Pour it right there into the... Wow, you missed completely. You missed completely. I mean, you're a guy after all, so I understand the struggle. It's okay, all right, good. Now, Bill, can I have you hold onto the water bottle just like that right now? Just like that? Yeah, from the top, yeah. Now, from now on, Bill, do not move your hand. Do not drop the bottle, all right? Because if you move even a little bit, the water will shoot straight out. But everybody in the audience, I want you to say the magic word. Say float. Say it in an English accent, float. That was very good, man, okay? Watch, don't blink your eyes. Watch carefully, because, Bill, you will do the magic for us. Stay still by making the water suspend in the air. Let's give me a hand over here. Give me a hand, all right? Don't go nowhere. Stay where you are, okay? Now, people might be a little skeptical of your power. They think there's going to be a piece of tape blocking the mouth of the bottle. This, my friend, is for all the skeptics in the audience right there. Let's give Bill a big hand, man. Thank you so much, Bill. You're a great audience over here. And since you're so great, we're going to do 2 more things with you right now, yeah? Now, we're going to need 2 more gentlemen volunteer right now. Who want to volunteer? Gentlemen, who wants to volunteer? You do. 1 for you right there, and then 1 for you right here. Give them a big round of applause over here. Those 2 guys that come join me on stage right now. Here we go. All right. Come over here, guys. All right. Yes. Hello, you are? Murali. Okay, everyone say hi, Murali. Okay, Murali, and my man over here, what's your name, man? Kurt. Awesome. Nice meeting you. Okay, so Kurt and Murali, you guys are going to help me out. And Bill got $10 bill. you guys will get to tie me up. What a bummer, I know, yeah? Now, Kurt, come over here, stand on the left over here, just like that. Morelli, stand behind me over here, brilliant, good, because what's going to happen is this, okay? Now, come closer, Bill. Come closer over here. I'm going to have you hang on to the rope over here. Pull on them. Are they pretty normal? Pretty normal, yeah? Brilliant, good. So watch over here. In a moment, you got to tie me up. So Morelli, can you put your hands around my waist over here? That way I won't fall over. No take over. Just hold on tight over here, yeah? All right, good. Hold me tight like Titanic. You get the idea, right? All right, good. Now, I'll pass the rope right under my legs over here, just like that. Can you hold on to this side with both your hands? Hold it over here with both your hands. When you count 1, 2, 3, you guys go and pull as hard as you can, okay? Go. 1, 2, 3. Pull as hard as you can. Yes. Ow! Okay, keep going. Don't stop. Don't stop. Okay, good. Now, my legs are tied down right now. I want you to tie my hands down too. Can you tie a knot right on top of my wrist over here? Just tie a knot on top. Tie a single knot right there. You got it? Go right there, tighter, keep going, tighter, even tighter, keep pulling, don't stop, yes, wow, what do you guys do for a living? How are you so good at this? All right, now, I want you to tie one more on top, but before you do that, Kurt, put your thumb on the first knot, that way it won't go loose. Bill, tie one more knot on top, because you seem more experienced than Kurt. Now, pull it tighter, all right, good, now, are you happy with this, or you want to see one more knot? Oh, damn it. Let's do one more now. Let's do one more now, man. Let's do one more. Let's hurry up. I'm losing blood, man. Can't feel my hands. You got it? All right, good. Now, this is no joke right here. This is absolutely tight as heck right here, right? Now, Morelli, can I have you lose a jacket right now, yeah? We're going to use a jacket like a curtain to add some moment and element of suspense over here, right? Now, the two of you, can you let go of my rope right now and just hold on to the jacket? You hold one side of it, Bill. You hold the other side right there. Morelli, go back behind me for a second, yeah? Now, guys, when I ask you to drop the curtain, I want you to drop your side and you move it all the way away. Let's practice. Drop, Bill. Move it all the way away. Awesome, good. Now, cover my hands all the way again. Because what I want you to do is this. When I say go, I want you guys to count back from 5. You want to go like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's what you want to do, all right? Now, go ahead and Bill, drop. Kurt, move it all the way away. Move all the way. In case you're confused, I want to see how long it would take me to get out of the rope over here, yeah? Can you cover my hands all the way one more time for me? As a matter of fact, Bill, you're too far. Move back over here just a little bit. Move back over here just a little bit. They can see a little better on the far ends over here, yeah? Now, Bill, go ahead and drop the jacket. Drop it. In case you're still confused, I want to see how long it would take me to get out of the rope over here. Now, Morelli, can I have you examine the front of the rope? Examine the front. Is it pretty tight in the front? Yep. Okay, examine the back. Is it pretty tight in the back? No, I'm playing. Don't do it, okay? Just go behind me. You got it good. Gentlemen, go ahead and cover my hands over here again. And everybody go ahead and count back from 5. Go! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's how you do, guys. Come big hand over here, man. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Kurt. And thank you, Morelli. Morelli and Kurt, you can go back to your seat over here now. Bill, don't go nowhere yet. You were the first guy over here. Come over here, man. You did a great job right here, okay? Good. So, now, Bill, I really appreciate my first volunteer because it takes a lot of courage to be volunteering for magicians, all right? So besides the $10 bill, though, I got one more gift for you, all right? Check it out right here. Now, my friend, do you like Coke Zero? You love it. I know it. I read your mind earlier, yeah? So watch. I'm going to give Bill this Coke Zero over here. Now, some of you might wonder to yourself, why is he so quick and so careless to give him a $10 bill and not care at all? Well, this is why. Check this out right here. Can you see the Coke going into the cup right here? Yeah? Watch this. Is this an empty can right now? Yeah? Empty, yeah? The reason why I was so quick to give him a $10 bill is because there is something inside my Coke can right here. Can you hear this right here? Yeah? Something is inside the soda can over here. Inside the soda can right there. I'm going to cut straight into it so everybody in the audience can see what it is. Does it look like a credit card? Does it look like a credit card that is soaked wet with soda? Bill, can you take this out right here? Can you verify to us, is it your credit card, Bill? That is his credit card right there. Yes, Bill, thank you so much. You can have that back right there. I almost pickpocketed you, my friend. Thank you so much. All right, good. Now, if you wonder to yourself, how did I steal his credit card and how I do magic? Well, I'll give you one example how magic works. Magic works by manipulating your attention on where you see, yeah? While I was so busy doing the rope thing, I stole his license. He didn't see that. And that is exactly what I did with everybody here. Because while you're watching the show over here, you might have missed something. Can you bring back the photo you took of me and Bill in the beginning of the show one more time? Can you bring out a photo? Yeah, bring it out. Because how many people did not realize that my t-shirt had changed color completely since the beginning? Look into your cell phones right now and look right back at me. Look at your cell phones and look right back at me. Everybody tell me out loud, what was the color of my shirt in the beginning? It was blue, yeah, and now it's what? Now it's white, and that is how magic works, by swinging your attention left and right. My name is Nat Strong. I'll do more magic as I mingle around through the evening over here. Thank you so much, y'all. Have a good day, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nash. Thank you. So I think I would like to quickly announce the winner and have the judges on the stage here so they can present to the winner. Dale. Yes, Sandy, Sheila, Greg. Are we missing somebody? So I would like maybe Dale. You want to comment on just a one-line quick comment on submissions?
Great submissions. I love that these, all of the demonstrators had brought analytics to serious business problems, and I thought that that was a real highlight for the competition.
I thought that everyone did a really great job putting all the comments and the slides together. I know it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and I thought overall it was great, and there was actually some takeaways that we can take back to our organization, so great job.
I was over here making notes. Thank you very much, because it does take bravery to stand up in front of a crowd like this or any crowd. Really good work. Thank you.
I'll just say very impressive. All the presentations were great, and congratulations to everybody.
So the winner of the Credit Union Analytics Challenge 2017 is, what is the name? Andrew Bertrand from OCCU, our community credit union. Congratulations, Andrew.
For which one? Yeah,
So that was for the 7th entry, the last entry around the risk. Congratulations. Thank you once again. Thank you all for... Yes. Quick 1 minute speech.
Hold on.
Good. Thank you. All right, so I think this brings to a conclusion, and before that, we have the book signing session that will happen right now. So it'll be right here. We have the new series from Chris Sardak on Jerk. So with that, I think we disperse. Thank you.